Hello and welcome to my review of the Sludgegrubs from the Gellerpox Infected faction. They do have Warhammer 40,000 8th edition rules in the little codex that comes with that set, and I'll be going through those rules towards the end of the review. Firstly, let's have a look at the models themselves. I'll do some size comparisons. So what are the Sludgegrubs? Well, they're leech-like creatures and they're swollen and grotesque. They slither from dank hiding places to batten on their victims, fang-lined maws capable of delivering a deep and nasty bite. Once attached, they're all but impossible to remove. It's dangerous to even try. If you burst their soft bodies, you'll be splattered by extremely caustic innards. They're mutated by the warp and are filled with an acidic fluid that can burn through any armour. The loathsome parasites can spit small sticky globules of this substance in a short distance, allowing a pack of them to fell larger prey upon which to feed. So that's what they are. If you've never heard of them before, I'd never had, nor the curse mites. I kind of heard about the eye stinger swarms. Let's have a look at the models themselves. I like the variety in these. There's a couple of grotesque ones. So you've got this one here, which is spitting this globule of small acid. So that's sort of mid-flight. That's pretty good. You've got this one here, which is just sort of licking its tongue. It's got these kind of sharp fangs and some kind of injector thing and a couple of maggots around it. I would have liked to have seen more of a scenic bases with these, more maggots and things around them, or smaller versions of these. And they kind of look like they're on their own little island on these bases. And then this one really shows the horrific fangs, their maw in there, with some bubbly stuff. I don't know whether that is you know, the acid or whether it's some kind of eyes, who knows, but very big, almost furry, pulsating sludge grub. Disgusting. You can just imagine these crawling out of dark places. And then finally, probably one of my favourites in the whole kit actually, is this sludge grub. It looks like it's got, it looks like there's two of them here. There's one here with this little tail and a spike, and then there's this other fatter one that it's resting on, and this has swollen or about to completely digest with those teeth a human. The human's has his mouth gaped in horror with his tongue to one side. His eyeball has already been dissolved, and he's just being eaten alive, most probably. Not having a very good time, not having a very good day at all, beyond salvation, quite possibly. So I like these kind of like little models that are in that kind of digestion phase, that they're eating something. I think that's quite active, and it's very relevant to capture what these horrific abominations do. Let me show you some size comparisons then, compared to the other Griblies in the set. So here's some eye stinger swarms. Eye stinger swarms, obviously one of the smallest kits in the set. You've got the little curse mites, the fleas, and then the glitchlings as well. The Sludgegrubs are probably the smallest because they have very, very low profile. They sit very, very low compared to all of the other models. But there's not much in it with all of these four types of little squishy creatures. Compared to the Vox Shambler, obviously Vox Shamblers be shambling past them, and they're not going to do him any harm, all part of the Papa Nurgle's plan. And then next to Vulgar, you've got him nearby, probably stomping on a few or pushing past them. Compared to their food, we've got Aximilian, the Voidsman, and Elucia Vane. Yeah, they're much taller, but you don't want to be grabbed by one of these things. High your boots are. And then I'll just compare them to a couple of Death Guard models. So Potswalker works quite well with the Potswalker and with the Death Guard. Not as much so with the flies, but still you could definitely say that, that the models would work well in harmony in the range. And finally, some more Imperial models, which is Space Marine and the Intercessor Primaris. Again, they're much taller and more of a presence. But the best option is for them to just shoot them with those bolt guns. and bolt rifle. Okay, so this is my part of the review where I will go through all of the rules for them. You'll find them in your mini Gellerpox Infected Codex with 8th edition rules. They are a fast attack choice and a power points cost of a 1, same as all of the other, same as the Eye Stinger Swarms and the Curse Mites. Their match play points cost is actually a 4 per model though, so you're going to be paying So you're going to be spending 16 points on these. So that makes them more expensive than the Curse Mites and the Eye Stinger Swarms. Why are they more expensive? Let's go through it. Well, their movement speed is 5 inches, so they're the slowest out of those. And they're the same speed as the Hullbreakers, Volgra, the Glitchlings and the Vox Shamblers. The weapon skill is a 4+, but this time these guys have a ballistic skill of 4+. Their strength is 3, making them the strongest out of these. Their toughness is 2, 1 wound, 1 attack, leadership 8 and a save of 6+. So although they've got the same leadership and the same save, they've only got 1 attack compared to the others. Curse Mites have 2 and the Eye Stinger Swarms have up to 3. This unit contains 4 Sludgegrubs. Each attacks with its Fanged Maw and Stinger, as well as its Acid Spit. Only one of this unit can be included in your army. The Fanged Maw and Stinger. It's a melee weapon with strength of the user, which is 3, AP -1 and a damage of 1. Finally, we get a weapon that has an armor penetration of -1 out of these little creatures. The Acid Spit then, brilliant. 8-inch range, that's great. So you've got an effective range of 13, not the best though. It's a pistol 1 weapon, strength of the user, which is 3, AP -1 and a damage of 1. That's still pretty good. At the end of the day, you've got a pistol, you've got an 8-inch range pistol, strength 3, AP -1. Abilities, Volgra's Followers. Again, you need to set them up at the same time as Volgra. Mutoid Vermin. Again, the unit does not take up a slot in the detachment that includes Volgra Thrice Cursed, so they're not going to take up that fast attack choice. And finally, their final ability is Caustic Blood. Roll a d6 each time a model in this unit is slain in the fight phase. On a 6, the unit that killed the model suffers a mortal wound after it has made all of its attacks. That's okay, but for a 1 in 6 chance for a mortal wound, isn't the best. I would have liked a 5 or a 6, that would have been better, or even a 4. But as it stands, with a movement of 5 inches, are they even going to get that far? A lot of these Gellerpox Infected, other than the Stinger Swarms and the Curse Mites, are quite slow, and these grubs, well, I'm not expecting them to slide across the battlefield on one of those water slides and then leap at Space Marines, a Space Marine that doesn't have his helmet on face and kill him outright. I'm not expecting that at all, but I'm just saying they've all got toughness of 2. They're going to be easy to pick off, destroy from range, all of them. So unless you're the world's worst warlord, it's going to be hard for you to stumble into these in close combat by accident. But if you do, there's a potential there, well, on a 6, that you could be on the receiving end of some mortal wounds. But again, there's only 4 of them and they only have 1 attack each. Yes, it's great that they could inflict mortal wounds, but I think the Eye Stinger Swarms and the Curse Mites are better choices. Definitely the Eye Stinger Swarms anyway, because they can re-heal. It's hard to hit them, and there's potential of getting automatic wounds from a range number of attacks. Anyway, what do you guys think of these Sludgegrubs? I really like the models. Having said that about the rules, I think they show great creativity. Not as much as the Eye Stinger Swarms, but still definitely moving in the right direction. And I'd like to see bigger versions. Why aren't there bigger versions? Surely this isn't the size that they get. You know, they must get bigger and bigger as they gorge on more and more tissue within these ships, and maybe they eat technology as well. But I would have liked to have seen much bigger grubs and creatures, which I'm sure Nurgle has the capacity to create. What do you guys think of the models and the rules? Please do put it in the comments below as always. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. Papa bless.